Here we have the times spent practicing in hours by a group of students and the scores that they achieve. So for example, student in A2 studied for 4 hours and scored 89%, whereas a student in A7 studied for 5 hours and got 99%. So it appears there is a relationship between time and score. This relationship can be measured. Actually, we know that when you measure any quantity, you are actually trying to get a numerical value to describe that quantity. And we're talking about the relationship. And this can be measured, and the value we get is called coefficient correlation. From that, you can get the coefficient of determination. And from that, now you can perform a linear regression analysis by obtaining a linear equation to describe the relationship between time and score in this example. So this can be done in Excel very efficiently. You go to, you can go to data, and that's one way of doing it. There is another way to do it. And this is one way. You go to data and you go to data analysis, make sure that data analysis toolpath is installed in your Excel, and you click on it, and then you look for regression. Okay, this is in alphabetical order from E, and then you go down to Z. Now we go into regression and we click OK. So Excel is asking us which set of values are the Y values, the dependent variable. So here now, score will be the dependent variable because it appears that the score depends on the time that you studied. That's one of the factors that affecting score is the time spent practicing. So score will be the dependent variable, and we click on the input Y range to indicate to Excel that is from B2, double click and hold, to B8. That's your Y range, your dependent variable, and X, that's the independent variable, will be time from A2, double click and hold, and drag to A8. And we did not put the labels. If we had started from A1, we go back here and we started from A1, that's the independent variable, the X variable, A1 to A8, then we'll have to click labels. Okay, it can be done. So let's click the labels and let's redo the Y, starting from B1 to B8. So we click on labels, and yes, so that's basically what we need, and we click OK. So as you can see here, Excel has given us the coefficient of determination and the R, that means the coefficient correlation. All right. The symbol for coefficient correlation, Excel is using the capital R, and for coefficient of determination is R square. So we can just click on these two values, highlight and copy and paste here. Okay, so here we have our coefficient correlation R and the coefficient of determination. The coefficient correlation is 0.69, so there is a strong positive correlation between score and time. It means that as the time spent practicing increases, the coefficient correlation increases also. And the coefficient of determination is a 0.48. It means that about 48% of the increase in score is due to time spent practicing. That's how you interpret the coefficient of determination. 48% of the variation in score is due to time, according to these values. Okay, and 0.69, almost 0.7, shows that there's a strong positive correlation, meaning that when score increases, time must have increased, or when time increases, automatically your score increases. What we want to know is the slope, the gradient, and the y-intercept C. So let's go back in where Excel gives us the output with the values. And the y-intercept, here it is labeled. Y-intercept is 70.8 And the slope, time, as you can see, time, the coefficient, slope is 3.43 or 3.44. Okay, here Excel is actually giving it to us right here. So the y-intercept is 0.7, 70.8, sorry. Okay, and the slope is 3.4375. And the coefficient correlation and the coefficient of determination, here they are. Okay, so we can get those 5 values and other important statistical parameters that we don't really need it yet. Okay, so here we have those 4 values. So the slope now, it means that that's a 3.4375. It means that with every 1 hour that you study, your score increases by 3.4375. That's what this slope means. If every 1 hour that you study, your score increases by 3.4375. That's what the slope means. And the 70, the y-intercept, means if you don't study at all, most likely you may get a 70. So if your study hours is 0, okay, then your score might be a 70, thereabout, average, okay, approximately 70.8. Okay, that's what the y-intercept means. Okay, so one more time, 0.69, that's a strong positive. Whenever your time increases, your score increases. 0.479, that's about a 0.48, 48% of the variation in score is due to time. Slope of 3.4375 means that every 1 hour that you study, your score increases by 3.4375. And the 70.81 means that if you don't study at all, most likely you might get a 70.8%